Once I got sentenced to my UUMVs, which is Oregon's version of GTA, Grand Theft Auto, I was sitting in county and my homies were telling me exactly how it was going to be once I got to prison. A bunch of them had already been to prison before, so they were kind of laying the groundwork and letting me know what to expect. And one of the main things that they were letting me know about was recruitment from prison gangs. And look, honestly, one of the main things that they were trying to tell me is do not click up, you don't want it, it's a bunch of drama, there's a bunch of smoke, and I was honestly down for all of it. Like, I went in there with the idea in my head that I was gonna make as much noise and as much chaos as possible because I was young, dumb, full of cum, and I wanted that problem. In fact, back in my villain era of life, one of my most commonly said things was, I am a motherfucking problem. I'm that one. I know, you guys, I know. Anyway, these dudes were not wrong at all whatsoever. It did not take more than a couple of days for people to start hitting me up trying to recruit me for their different cars. But the very first car to hit me up was the weirdest fucking situation, and that's what this story is gonna be about today. This is gonna sound kind of weird, but I think the very first people who tried to get me initiated into a gang was DOC itself, the Department of Corrections. When you get convicted, the first thing they're gonna do is they're gonna send you from county to an intake center. Like in Oregon, it's Coffee Creek Correctional Facility, which is also where they house all of the females for the entire state. But the dudes are in a completely different section and you don't have any access to the females in there. Back in the day, Oregon tried to do a co-ed prison at Columbia River and it ended with a shitload of pregnancies and they did not want to deal with that shit ever again. But they send you to an intake and it can be anywhere from like 30 to 90 fucking days that you're sitting here before you get shot out to an actual prison. Intake is some of the worst time that you're gonna do because you're not gonna get canteen this whole time, at least in Oregon. But they have to make sure that they do a physical, they have to run a TB test, they want to make you watch the PREA video, which you'll probably have to watch again as soon as you get to another prison. Then they put you through a series of interviews to make sure and determine where you should actually be sent from there. And one of the main determining factors is STG. Are you part of a security threat group? And I swear to God, they get higher Christmas bonuses for the more people that they put gang labels on throughout the year. Because these motherfuckers went tough on me. They're like, what neighborhood are you from? Who did you hang out with? Look at your last name. Let me see every single one of your tattoos. Oh, you're from California and you have a clover tattooed on you. You must be part of the Brotherhood. I moved out of California when I was 14 years old, bitch. What, you think I was born branded up? Get the fuck up out of here. But they were absolutely fucking convinced that because of this thing right here, that I was in a gang. They couldn't get me to confirm it, but because I had lived in Southeast Portland and I had that tattoo and I was clearly Irish, they thought that I was a part of a certain Irish gang. So they put down that I was suspected of being part of an STG, a security threat group. And it was partly because of that that they sent me out to Snake River, which is basically like gladiator school in Oregon, instead of sending me to a fucking nice minimum camp. Which I'm not complaining because we all know how I ended up feeling about minimum camps and the low respect level and all that shit, but yo, Snake River is out in the middle of the goddamn desert, way away from where you're ever gonna get visits if you're from the valley. And I was from Eugene and Portland. That's dead center valley, bitch. And I'm gonna be doing a video really soon about my first day in prison. Someone else already took one of my TikTok videos and did a video on that, and it got a hell of a lot of views, so I'm not in a rush to make that video quite yet. But what I want to talk about is like my third or fourth day in prison when we finally got off fucking lockdown and we went back out to the fucking yard. The very first thing that happened to me was a dude from another gang hit me up and he was like, yo, homeboy, I want to talk to you. And I'm like, all right, cool. What's up, man? He said, let's go out here to talk. He walked me all the way out to the softball field and it was just the two of us at first. And I wasn't thinking that much of it because I don't give a fuck, bro. I can take this motherfucker. And then I see three more dudes walking out towards us and I start to get a little bit sketched out because this dude is starting to act sus. Whereas before it was friendly, he was starting to get confrontational, asking me questions about people that I had never met before in my fucking life. He's asking me about the time that I spent at EO and if I was on this poker table and do I remember this dude? Meanwhile, three other dudes walk up and at this point I'm completely fucking surrounded by these dudes, right? And all of them have the same fucking ink. I kind of get what's going on now. These dudes are about to jump the fucking shit out of me. Now, when you first go down and you first get to a prison, they issue you an ID. My ID was brand fucking new. It had the date issued on that bitch. And I'm like, dude, check this out, man. I just fucking got here. This is my first time in prison. Like, if you want to get down, we can get the fuck down, homeboy. But if you're gonna fucking jump me for something I did, because I'll do something right now, bitch. What's up? These dudes looked at my fucking ID and they were like, oh shit, you are new here. Did you get out and just come back? And I'm like, bro, I've never been to fucking EO or any other prison besides this and fucking Coffee Creek in my fucking life. But what's good, bro? Y'all motherfuckers pressing on me and it's disrespectful as fuck. I'm not really with it. They looked at me and they were like, you know what? You got heart like a motherfucker, bro. You're all right. In fact, we'd like to talk to you about something else now. And I'm like, nah, bro, I'm not trying to hear that shit. Y'all motherfuckers were on some whole fucky shit a minute ago, and now you want to fucking be friends, dog? I'm not really with that business. I mean, I get it. If somebody owes your homeboy a bunch of money and he steps out and goes to another fucking institution and you want to come up and stick him or jump his ass, I get that, bro, but you disrespected me. I'm not the fucking one for that shit. And I wasn't really super chill about it either. I was like kind of disrespected. I felt disrespected, and I was being kind of disrespectful back. And the more that I was disrespectful with these dudes, the more that they were like, yo, this dude is legit. Don't get me wrong, I wasn't calling these dudes out their name or no shit like that, but I wasn't being fucking calm or cooperative in any way, shape, or form. And for the next week or so, every single time that I would hit the yard, these dudes would be like, yo, come work out with us, come eat with us, come do this with us, come do that with us. And I appreciated the invitation, bro, but I knew exactly where they were trying to take that shit. And their gang was a white supremacist gang, bro. I'm not a fucking white supremacist. I don't get down like that. I'm Irish. My people have never been about that ooey-vey shit. Not for one fucking second. This is my punch a Nazi in the face shirt, bro. I'm not with that shit. Now, I have friends that are particular people in each one of these fucking organizations and shit, but they're not the hardliners that are running that fucking ooey-vey shit, bro. I don't fuck with that. One of the first people to put me on when I got to Snake, when I hit that fucking yard, was my homeboy, who happens to be a person of color, and he put shoes on my feet that first fucking day that I was there, man. He made sure that I had size 13s. You know how fucking hard it is to find a used pair of size 13s? It's in decent shape in there. He did that shit for me off rip, off the strength, the second that I hit that fucking unit. The type of motherfucker that I am, I'm gonna fuck with who I wanna fuck with. I'm gonna kick it with who I wanna kick it with. I'm gonna eat with who I wanna eat with, and I'm not gonna fuck with nobody I don't wanna fuck with, bro. If you've got fucking different politics than me that I don't vibe with, like, we can be cool, bro, but we're not gonna be that fucking cool. Within a really short amount of time, I ended up going to the fucking hole for a dirty UA. They saw me smoking a fucking stick on the yard. A stick is like a tiny little fucking pinner joint that you buy for $7, but that didn't even show up on the UA, man. What showed up was a fucking morphine that I've been getting off this fucking old dude. I don't even like opioids. Like, they make me itchy, they make me feel some type of way I don't like to feel, bro. Like, I'm just not into it. But when in Rome, fuck it, snort some Wellbutrin, I guess. Yeah, I did that too. Fuck that shit. But I went to the fucking hole and I got like 45 days in the hole for that dirty UA. They took my contact visits for 2 years, but I'm out in the middle of the goddamn desert, bro, nowhere near the valley. I wasn't gonna get no goddamn visits anyway, so I wasn't that upset about that. Visits through glass? Okay, bitch. They ain't coming anyway. It's too fucking far. But because of that shit that they put on my fucking jacket and my paperwork saying that I was like a suspected gang member, an STG member from a certain Irish fucking car in there, when I got out of the hole, they put me right in the fucking cell with a dude that was doing double life for homicide on a fucking uncle of his who had molested his fucking sister. And this dude happened to have the keys for that car on the yard. Now, this dude was a small dude, man. Like, he was a small motherfucking dude, but his heart was big as fuck. He was a fucking straight up soldier, and he wasn't gonna take no shit off nobody. First thing he told me when I walked in was, hey, what's your release date? And I told him I got 39 months. He said, so you have a release date? Cool, we're never gonna talk about that again, and I don't wanna hear you bitch about your fucking time ever once. I was like, all right, bro, we straight on that. You got no release date. Cool, we ain't gonna talk about bitching about fucking prison. Then he told me the other rule is you sit down to pee in my cell. I sit down to pee, you sit down to pee. Every time you piss standing up, there is a fucking 3 to 4 foot piss mist radius, and we're not gonna have that living in our cell. I'm like, look, I am a big ass dude, but this dude's doing life, man. This is this dude's home. I'm a fucking tourist here. There's no way that I'm gonna disrespect a dude who's being respectful and laying down the rules for his fucking home, bro. I don't belong there. I'm just there for a fucking moment. This dude kept that cell so fucking flawlessly fucking clean that I liked living that way. It was mad decent. And he made it very apparent that he would like to have me on the squad, but there was never any pressure, bro. It wasn't any of this subtle, like, we're gonna trick this dude into fucking with us and then make him fucking click up. It wasn't any of that type of shit, bro. He was checking me out while I was checking him out, and he was like laying out just like, you know, this could be something that might work for you. You might want to click up somewhere else. You might not want to get involved at all whatsoever. Whatever you want to do is up to you, but here's kind of what's going to happen if you do click up with us. This is what's going to be expected of you. You are going to have to learn your your heritage. You are going to have to learn Irish history. You are going to have to do a lot more than just go out and show that you have fucking heart and then we're going to give you a patch. You have to be a knowledgeable, historical motherfucker with your Irish culture before you get on. You need to know enough about our culture, our roots, and who we fucked with in the past, because that's who we fuck with now, bro. We're not a white supremacist gang. We don't roll like that. We're cool with pretty much everybody, but we do not fucking move certain ways. We are not hateful people. And that's largely due to the fact that when we came off the boats and first got to this country, people threw rocks and potatoes at us. We were second-class citizens. We were denied employment. And that's when we started all of the gangs in this country. Back in the day, the Irish are the ones who started that gangster shit. And the same colonizers that fucked with the fucking Mexicans and the fucking indigenous people in this fucking country back in the day were the same ones who made us indentured servants back in the day, which was just a churched up way of saying slaves. The reason that so many of the Irish people came to this country back in the day was because of the Irish potato famine, and it killed millions of Irish people. They were dying in the streets trying to live off fucking grass, bro. And the Choctaw tribe, a Native American tribe from here in the US, sent tons of money back because of the way that we had such a close bond with them over here. And if you read about the way that the Patrick's Battalion fought right alongside with the Mexicans when the U.S. was trying to take over fucking New Mexico, we rode out tough together, and there has always been love between our people. We were referred to as the mutts of Europe, and personally, I'm fucking here for that. And that's why I choose to ride the way that I rode. I'll say right off rip that a lot of these gangs, a lot of these organizations would find youngsters that were impressionable, that didn't have shit. They would swoop them up, and they would use them up for whatever they needed, man. You're gonna be a torpedo. You're gonna go run a mission. We're gonna make you a fucking crash dummy. Bro, I was not gonna be involved in being one of those, and I wasn't gonna be involved in an organization that treated their fucking people like they were expendable. If you're not willing to invest your time in teaching your people, elevating your people, making your people better, then there's no real reason to have them, bro. You're just gonna shoot them off the second you get the chance or the need. And the people that I was fucking with recognized each and every one of our people's value and tried to elevate them and make them better people. End of the day, I'm a grown-ass motherfucker, and I will have influence over others, and I will have influence over myself. And it was that exact mindset, which is why I ended up having the keys to my car eventually when I got to OSP. And eventually when we had a war pop off out west back at Snake River with another gang, I went straight to that gang's table at OSP, sat down with the fucking shot caller from their gang, and we talked that shit out, and we worked out how we were gonna have that from spilling over into our population there. Because there wasn't enough good dudes on that fucking yard, and we didn't want to put all of us in the fucking hole over some shit that didn't really have nothing to do with no one that was sitting at those tables. We worked out a deal that if any of those dudes from that institution got shot out to our institution and they wanted to handle that shit on either side, it would be handled with ones in a respectful fucking fashion. And that's exactly how that shit went down when it did occur. Because you see, when you run an organization or you're a part of an organization at any given fucking facility, you have assets. You have tables, you have fucking card tables, you have fucking punks, and if everybody from your fucking car goes to the fucking hole, everybody loses all of those things. The other gangs are gonna take them, and you're not just gonna get them back, bro. You're gonna get out of the hole, you're gonna go to try to reclaim all your shit, and you're gonna have more static and more problems, and you might end up right back in the hole, getting shot out to different institutions, going through fucking IMU. All of it is a worst case scenario, bro. If you could sit down and fucking talk and keep shit respectful, that is always in everyone's best interest. Power moves are done with your mouth, not with your fists. That is a fucking ethic that you just cannot instill in a lot of these youngsters these days, because their pride runs the fucking show. Their pride is worth more to them than the well-being of their fucking car, of the people in their car, of their fucking families at home. Like, they are all a fucking one-person show in their own mind. They are living in a fucking TV show, and they're the fucking star 24/7. And that's not how it goes down if you want to be a fucking leader and have a successful organization, period. A lot of these organizations out of there were more about numbers than they were about quality. They wanted that quantity, bro. They wanted to have soldiers, but their soldiers weren't worth shit, man. If your soldiers aren't fucking loyal, if your soldiers aren't fucking tight, if your soldiers can't fucking get down when they need to get down, you've just got a bunch of weak links in your fucking chain. And they would put these dudes on and then send them out to do missions within a fucking week, bro. So you've got some fucking 6 months from the sandbox, fresh cut motherfucker. You go out there, you have them fucking take flight on a fucking rapo, or a dude from another fucking fucking car, and then he gets out of the hole and you put ink on him, bro. Half the time they don't even pass the fucking full paperwork check before you're fucking putting your brand in their skin. And a lot of these dudes, when they're doing their recruitment, it is a fucking high sales tactic fucking event, bro. These dudes go all out, they're manipulative, they fucking promise you things, they fucking will squeeze you to get you in, bro. If you have to pressurize someone to get them to be in your fucking car, they are not gonna be a fucking worthwhile soldier. I can fucking promise you that, bro. Good, worthwhile soldiers wanna be there, and they have fucking heart to be there. That's the only way you're gonna get people of worth. And honestly, to this day, I am in contact with a lot of the dudes from my car. Do I actively bang anymore? Absolutely fucking not. I'm in my 40s. I'm not out here trying to be a gangster. Neither are they. They're at home with their families. But I know these dudes. I love these dudes. I want absolutely what's best for these dudes. If they called me in the middle of the night and they needed me to talk them off a fucking ledge, I would 1000% do that, man, because we are a fucking family. We are all fucking descendants from Irish High Kings, bro. Period. That's what it is. And any one of these dudes would do the exact same for me, and that's how I know to this day that I made the right decision, man. None of these dudes, knowing where I'm at in my life, would call me and be like, hey bro, we need you, we're gonna go commit a crime. They wouldn't do it, bro. I'm not on that fucking list. They know I'm a family man, they know what I'm doing, and they know that they want better for me just the way that I want better for them. So we have that mutual respect, even if any of them were still actively banging. But luckily, the majority of the ones that I know, man, they're on to bigger and better things, and I respect the fuck out of what I see them doing. Shout out to the homie Little Earl. I don't know a single motherfucker on this planet who deserves a second chance at life more than you do, man. Shout out to the fucking homie Rock. I see you, bro. I see what you're doing. I see the way you're building a better community out here on the streets, and I fucking love you for that. Rest in peace, Lloyd Frock. I love each and every one of you guys, man. Be good or be good at it. I'm out.